This is the July 5th, 2017 meeting of the Township of Lopatcong Township Council. We are going to enter into the regular session. We apologize, we went a little bit late with the executive session, but here we are and we'll try to expedite. I'll read the notice. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 230 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star-Gazette and the Express Times and by posting a copy of the bulletin board in the municipal building. A moment of prayer and silence, please. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Beth, would you be so kind as to read the roll?
Yes, I will. Councilman Valcaro. Councilman Polito.
Here.
Councilman Wright.
Here.
Council President Pryor.
Here.
Mayor McKay.
Here. Okay, we need a motion to come out of executive session. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're out.
Council was in executive session for approximately 43 minutes. The topics of discussion are as listed on your agenda, 1 through 3. Minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. There will be one matter. We'll take a motion after the swearing in. We'll do the one motion.
Okay, very good. Very good. Now, the first one we have is a proclamation. Is that still on, Beth?
I don't see them here.
Oh, they're not here?
We'll go forward with that.
All right. The second one is a very good one. We're going to have the swearing in of 2 new police officers for the township. And you would bring the officers up, and Beth, you'll swear them in, please?
Yes. Why don't we start with the Dean Berrigan and his family. I'll go in alphabetical order. You can just stand in front here, and you're going to hold the Bible. Sure. Okay, you're going to raise your right hand, and then you're going to repeat after me. I, Dan Berrigan.
I, Dean Berrigan.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
That I bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
And to the governments established in the United States.
and to the government established in the United States
And in this state.
and in this state,
Under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
And that I will faithfully.
and that I will faithfully,
Impartially.
impartially,
And justly perform.
and justly perform
All the duties of the office of police officer.
all the duties of the office of police officer
According to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my
So
ability.
help me God.
So help me God.
You're welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Okay, and then we have Caleb Lisner.
Somebody hold Bible.
I, Caleb Lisner,
I, Caleb Wisner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of police officer
all the duties of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
If I could, I'd just like to congratulate our 2 new officers. We're very proud of our force here. It's an excellent force, and I wish you luck as you start your career with Lopatcong.
good.
That's right, and we're sure the chief will train you good.
You don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting. You have
Yeah,
to
we
leave now.
we let you skip, and we won't be mad. We won't be mad.
Chief will put you to work.
All right, Katrina, you had something?
Sure.
Yeah.
As we discussed in executive session, would someone like to make a motion to authorize the matter discussed in the executive session?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Okay. Take a motion to go into public comment.
I'll make the motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're in public comment, and this is agenda items only. Okay, no comments. I'll take a motion to go out of public comment.
Make the motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Old business. Approve the minutes of the June 7th, 2017 executive sessions, 2 parts and regular section.
I'll make that motion, subject to the changes we made.
I was going to say, just make sure you're as amended in the executive session. And some may need to abstain from one part of the executive session, so when Beth does the roll call, just state abstain from that part.
Because I wasn't there. Yeah. Okay. So why don't we get a second? Second. All right, then we could have a roll call, please.
So how should I label the parts?
So,
So it's clear. Part 1 would be me and part 2 would be you.
correct.
Does everybody hear that? Okay, so we're going to roll call part 1 of the regular.
You can do...
I could do the whole thing.
Whole thing, and then they can say yes,
Which one?
except for,
Okay.
I must abstain on this part.
Councilman Polito.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
And Mayor McKay.
Yes, with the exception of the parts that I was not present to participate in.
Part 2.
Part 2, so-called. Okay. Next order of business, under old business, ordinance number 2017-04, second reading and public hearing to amend the salary ordinance to put a step level increase in for the pool lifeguards. We need to open the public,
Correct. I mean, motion.
motion to open the public meeting for this item, for the public reading here. Motion? Do I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
This is the public hearing on ordinance 2017-04. The public comment on this should be related solely to this ordinance.
yeah, essentially it's to give the lifeguards a little more money next year. Any questions? Okay. Motion to close public hearing.
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, then we would want to do a vote to,
To adopt.
motion to adopt. Roll call, please.
Motion to adopt.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Old business item 3, Chapter 183, heat rental properties relating to heat to rental properties.
We discussed this last month. I guess the beginning of May was a little cold. We got a number of letters from people who were concerned about the heat, mostly in Brakely Gardens, all in Brakely Gardens, actually. Might be worthwhile to review what the state housing codes say. The heating season as defined in the state housing code is October 1 to May 1. They don't tell you that the heat must be on or off. It's a performance standard. It says the temperature in the apartment should be at least 68 degrees from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., and in the remaining hours, the temperature in the apartment must be at least 65 degrees. So it's depending on your heat, it's depending on the weather, a number of other things. But the landlord's responsible for meeting that performance criteria. Several years ago, there was a proposal to extend that 1 full month in either direction. That was withdrawn. It never had a second reading. And it's my understanding it was withdrawn because the landlord had said it would result in additional costs. These costs would be passed on, and the proposal was abandoned, or at least that's my understanding. This was several years ago. I've had several discussions with John Betts. He's become something of a spokesman for the residents at the Brakely Gardens. And Paul Donovan, he's, I guess, owner-manager, or part owner-manager of the complex. We wound up meeting today. And I thank both gentlemen for coming, and I compliment them on the way the meeting was conducted. It was civil, it was objective, and we tried to work towards a solution. One of the things we looked at is a lot of this evidence right now is anecdotal. We don't have data, and we all recognize that. We did take a look at whatever weather data we had that was available for the Phillipsburg area. And it seems that May is the more problematic month of the two. September doesn't seem to be as much of a problem. I looked at the rules in New York, which is very, very tenant-friendly. They're silent on September. They also start on October 1, and they've extended it through the end of May. I think the proposal I put forth to both sides today is to adopt a local ordinance extending the period to May 15th. Just 2 weeks. That seems to be the period where you may get some colder weather, and you're moving into warm weather. If you hit a hot spell, it allows the landlord to just shut it off, and we cruise into warm weather. Mr. Donovan was cooperative. He said he would not object to that, and wouldn't take exception. And on that basis, I'd like to propose first reading of an ordinance to extend our period at which the state standards apply. I'd like to extend that. Instead of May 1st, I'd like to extend that to May 15th.
Seems very reasonable, seems like a well-thought-out way to do this, and everyone agrees, so I say that...
There will be a hearing later, on second reading,
Second
so
reading,
this is
yeah.
really just the
Just
introduction.
first reading, all right, then we can approve the first? Yeah. All right, take a motion to approve?
Well, that'll be my motion.
Okay, yeah.
I'll second.
Second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fryer?
Yes.
Mayor McKinney?
Yes. New business, one item, Resolution 17-77, renewed liquor license for Centrum Liquors, July 1, 2017 to June 30th, 2018. I assume everything is in order with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll take a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, that's an all in favor, right? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, USDA special...
Where is that place?
Parkway Liquors. Parkway Liquors.
Oh, Parkway, okay.
Okay, USDA Special Projects, Stonehenge Drive Force Main Replacement Project and Stonehenge Drive Pump Station Improvements Project. I assume, Joe, you were involved with this
Well,
sewer...
I know enough to talk about it. Lou is really the liaison, and in Lou's absence, I can talk and Dan can help me out. The history of this particular financing goes back several years, and it was originally targeted the Baltimore Avenue pump station and force main, which replaced two pump stations, the one down on Route 57 and approximately 40-year-old station at Baltimore Street. We've combined them into a new single station, and we've installed a new force main that's extended all the way to Roseberry. It eliminated many of those overflows we used to have in Roseberry. It used to end right in front of the convenience store. And that project's been completed. It's in an operation. The interesting part is when we finished that, we had some money left over. It was a $3 million loan and grant application. 2.15 was a loan. 850,000 was the grant. So what we did is we funded Baltimore under the loan and essentially had $850,000 of grant money to do some what amounts to free projects. The problem is we're working under a grant agreement with the federal government. We have to have those things constructed by the end of the year, so everybody hustled. USDA worked with us. And we came up with two projects. They both involved the Stonehenge pump station. It's the station you see when you go down Stonehenge from Red School. It sits at the bottom. There's a force main that goes up, and Linda, is that? Yeah, discharges on Linda. That force main goes back to before Brakely Park. It was about 1970. It's coming up on 50 years. We've had 3 breaks on that over recent history. We're going to be replacing that force main. The other thing, the Stonehenge pump station was really designed for intermittent use. We found it necessary to keep that on all the time to try and prevent some problems. And Peaburg station functions, but we're making some enhancements there. We've been having problems with some rags and some other things, and we're going to take care of that. So the improvements to the pump station were bid in one contract, the force main in another. I will let Dan go over the actual bids if we want to. That will pretty much deplete the $850 that's remaining, so it will maximize the federal assistance for us. We have to move tonight if we're going to meet USDA's schedule, so we'll need to award and get going.
It wouldn't be contingent upon their approval of all
All of that.
documents.
Yeah. Maybe you want to discuss the bids a little?
Yeah, we advertised several weeks ago and took bids on Thursday, the 29th for the 2 projects. We had only one bidder for the force main project, that was Duane Construction, and we had 2 bidders for the second project, and we're recommending awarding to the low bidder. And
Blooming Glen
Blooming Glen
Contractors?
Contractors Incorporated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is
Pretty
like,
straightforward work, and
Yeah,
they both
yeah.
can do this work, so.
so I mean, I would bow to Joe's expertise in this matter, but it looks like the main elements of our sanitation system will be addressed with these 2 projects.
Well, in conjunction with, Baltimore was the one major pump station that eliminated 2 antiquated stations. This one will optimize the operation of one that went in about the time that the Heights, what is the Heights they call it, right? Warren Heights went in. It was put in conjunction with Warren Heights to divert some flow away from Baltimore. And then the force main goes way back to an original pump station, which is gone now. We store some records up top. That station's long gone, but we use that force main with the Stonehenge pump station. I defer to JMT on the qualifications of the contractors and the bids. In my opinion, that the work is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it shouldn't be a problem to get it done in the time frame allowed. And more importantly, that's what USDA wants, to finish it up so they can close the document out.
Yes.
So, and this was these are 2 of the major projects that were on the list that we discussed
Right.
last year.
They're almost like cherries on the top.
Yeah, and I mean, like Joe said, this stuff's old, it's not gonna get any younger, so it's better
You
to
might
address it now.
address it
While
now
it has the funds.
with grant funds, then,
Right.
yeah. Okay, sounds good. We'll take a motion to approve all of this.
Well, I think what we should do is probably, we're just going to acknowledge that we have to execute in the next couple of days numerous documents that are listed, and any others that, we might have missed. That's 1 through 6. And the award of the contract should be one at a time. So if we want to do Resolution 1778 to award the contract for the Stonehenge Drive Force Main Replacement Project to Delane Contracting in the amount of $524,351. And I have a couple extra periods in there, so what was the...
So we're going to go, you think it's best to do it in 3 pieces?
50 cents. Take the 2 out. So we can do that resolution.
Do it in 3 pieces. First resolution then would be to approve execution of the documents set forth in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And authorize the mayor to
And authorize the mayor
execute them on
to...
behalf of township, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, the mayor will execute them on the behalf of the township. Council will authorize me to do that.
Motion.
I need a motion. Need a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. All right, second part of that is Resolution 1778 to award contract for Stonehenge Drive Force Main Replacement Project to Delane Contracting, Inc. in the amount of $524,351.50.
Correct.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
May I have a roll call?
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Resolution 1779, award a contract for Stonehenge Drive Pump Station Improvements Project to Blooming Glen Contractors, Inc., in the amount of $221,200. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Beth, roll call, please.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda.
Yeah, I have a couple things with regard to that. Number 4, it's Block 32, Lot 15. There's a 5 there, it's supposed to be 15.
There's a 1 that goes in front of the 5. Okay.
And then Rachel this evening gave me 2 additional resolutions. One is authorizing the refund of tax overpayments for the year 2017 on Block 129, Lot 12, in the amount of $1,979.18. And then she also has a resolution authorizing tax billing for a tax year 2017 be changed to an exempt property as of closing. And that is Block 93.01, Lot 9, and the amount of that is $1,396.50.
So that's being changed to tax exempt?
Yes,
For what reason?
because the property, the person qualified.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it.
It's not like it's, all right, I guess.
Particulars.
That would be Resolution 1786 and 1787.
Yes, respectively.
Okay. So on the now 8 consent item agendas, I'll take a motion to approve them.
I'll make that motion.
Take a second.
Second.
Beth, please read the roll call.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Okay, moving on to council reports. Mr. Polito, you want to lead off?
Thank you. Briefly, EDAC, we had our first meeting last month, and we'll be looking to meet on the 4th Tuesday of every month First meeting went very well, came up with some ideas on supporting the businesses in town and some ideas of generating some new business.
Fourth Tuesday, you said?
Fourth Tuesday.
Beth, is that going to be set forth in the, on the township's website?
Sure.
People know, okay.
That's it.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
I'll go through a couple things. One is our rain gardens at the pool. Chris Brock, the staff, sent me a design. I'll pass it down. I think the next thing is for us to review this, discuss it with the staff, and he told me we'd need an agreement before this was implemented. I didn't get a chance to talk to him today. I talked to one of his staff. She was kind enough to forward this. I'll have to get the mechanics of this thing, down, and I will do that before the next meeting. The second thing, I'd like to give you an update of the mayor's suit against council. The plaintiff's brief has been filed. That's the mayor. Defendant's brief, that's myself and Councilman Bob Carroll and Maureen McCabe. She's still in it. Our brief has been filed. The plaintiff had the option of filing a rebuttal. He did not file that. That option is gone. There's been no request for oral arguments. So the case is in the hands of the court. We await the decision of the judges. The third thing I feel obligated to comment on is the planning board, and I'm not going to rehash things that have happened there, but I feel I have to respond to some things and explain what's going on. As many of you know, I raised concerns at the planning board meeting of April 27th regarding possible conflicts of interest. I encourage anyone who's here tonight to watch the tape of this meeting or review the minutes. Planning board members are officers of the township. They're held to a special standard. I'm not going to read it, but it basically says where a member or his immediate family has a direct or indirect financial interest or personal involvement. So it's much broader, and it's just an involvement that might reasonably be expected to impair his objectivity or independence of judgment, and is held in a conflict of interest. It was proposed by the state law, by the planning board, that it was none of council's business. Both state law and the municipal code grant the township council the authority to get involved with perceived conflicts of interest. As a matter of fact, we're empowered to remove any member except the mayor, after a hearing. So as council president, as council's representative, I feel I have both a right and a duty to address potential conflicts of interest on the board. At the April 27th meeting, it was agreed that I would reduce my concerns to writing. I would put that in the form of a letter. The board would have time to review my letter, develop their own letters, and this would be submitted to the Department of Community Affairs as a package. To my knowledge, that's all been done. So it's not my intention tonight to review my letter or rehash the April 27th meeting. What I feel like I must respond to is some comments made by the mayor at the April 27th meeting, as well as some additional comments he made at the planning board's meeting of May 31st. I believe if you open up my letter, you will see that my concerns were raised in good faith, and they're documented. I exercise great care in documenting everything. The mayor characterized them with terms such as speculative, nuances, and ridiculous. I encourage you to open my letter, and you decide for yourself. The second thing is, at the meeting, the next meeting, May 31st, which I couldn't attend, Mayor spoke quite a bit about me. I guess he won that debate because I wasn't there. I'm here tonight. And I'd like to review a few of the fact-based concerns that I raised. Did you attend an anti-asphalt plant fundraiser at Bruno's? Did you attend an
Are
asphalt?
you interrogating me?
Yeah.
Did I attend? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you denied it that night. You said it was a heinous accusation.
No, I didn't deny it. I never denied it.
You said it was a heinous accusation.
Your accusation was that I got free pizza, that I...
No, you know what? I ask everybody to read it. You decide for yourself.
Okay,
You can.
I don't want to talk about it. This is...
I didn't think you would, but he was particularly feisty at the meeting on May 31st. He stated at the meeting that I was not there, that I was the only one who raised conflicts of interest. None of these people raised a conflict of interest. I was the only one. I believe Mr. Johnson, Mr. Olszewski, and Ms. Schneider all accused me of a conflict of some sort, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about. You know, this is the town council meeting. If you want to go...
Well, you raised these, I wasn't there. I'm bringing them up tonight. Then there was the granddaddy of all accusations, which came directly from the mayor to the floor, and you felt you had to raise this at a public meeting. And I hope to get the nuances right. He says, yeah, you know, could it be, Joe, that you are behaving in this fashion? Some might say it could be. I'm not saying that you are, but maybe you're trying to get on the Bridge Commission. Ah, who gets on the Bridge Commission? Well, maybe that's what you're trying to do. That's, you know, that's an accusation of the mayor.
That's a question.
No, he's made it in public.
It's a question.
I asked you at the next meeting, you said it's a rumor going around. I asked you tonight, what's the source of the rumor? Where'd you hear? Where'd you hear the rumor? Huh?
I hear a lot of rumors like that.
You know, would it surprise anyone if I felt that you were the source of the rumor?
I don't know. Is that what you want to say?
I don't know. Why would I be on the, do you know what it takes to get on the Bridge Commission?
I don't know.
You have no idea.
No.
Do you know if they get paid? Nothing.
What, to be a commissioner?
Yeah.
I don't know that. I can't.
Why would I be on it? Well, why would you say that at a public meeting?
Why would people want to be on it? Because they give...
Why would I want to be on it? Have I ever mentioned it?
Well, it seems like a lot of people leave here and go on this.
Well, that's
So
a
I
lot
thought,
of logic.
You know, I thought maybe that was like... I don't know.
Did you ever read Judge Miller's decision?
Yeah, one time ago.
Yeah, I bet you didn't. Here's what he said. Conflict of interest rules are important, are imposed and enforced to discourage improper activity and ensure the public trust. That does not give license to an attack by pure speculation upon a public official where there is not a scintilla of evidence to suggest any wrongdoing or improper influence. I gave great weight to Judge Miller's words. Again, I encourage you to open my letter. I give a full discussion. I give full documentation. I give weight to Judge Miller's words. In closing, you said, well, I was not there, we should only be conducting the business of the board. I ask you, does that mean that potential conflicts of interest are not the business of the board?
Legitimate conflicts of interest.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Please, open my letter, read it, and you decide for yourselves if they're legitimate. Read the minutes of that meeting, and the mayor says nonsense, heinous. You decide for yourselves. I bring that up today, and I won't bring it up again.
Okay. I don't know if all of you know what this is. This is, Mr. Pryor says that some people on the planning board have conflicts of interest with respect to the asphalt industry, and that they cannot be trusted to be unbiased in any kind of dealings that might have happened in the past or might be happening in the future with respect to the asphalt industry. So that's what he's talking about. Let's see, now we go to...
I really don't have any reports. I've been working with the chief of the police for a little bit. I'll let him explain on his report. I'm sure he's got some info, but I have basically nothing.
Okay. Chief? Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I do have a couple projects we've been working on over the past month or so, and I'll report on the medicine drop box, the permanent medicine drop box for the municipal building. It's still forthcoming. We just received approval from the DEA to keep moving forward with it. So it's a process, but it's still in motion, and hopefully we'll see that before the summer's end.
What's the idea, Chief? Have it upstairs here, or, well, you'd have to have some security and so on, right?
Yeah, we would, based on approval, we'd show the location, but there would be security measures in place to make sure it was secure in the building, but I'm looking to have it installed in the, right in the foyer as you come into the building.
I think it's a great idea.
So, appreciate it. A couple other things that we've been working on is a couple grants, a federal grant for the cops hiring program. This way, we're looking for ways to offset salaries. Hopefully, with a successful grant, this will be $120,000 over a 3-year period. And then there's a second grant a grant opportunity that became available recently through the State Attorney General's Office for community policing. I have been in contact with the Greenwich Police Department in efforts to partner with their department and joining for a community policing project. So I think that is a possibility that we may receive funding for that, and that's a $10,000 grant to get us going in our community policing efforts. And then lastly, over the past month, mid-June, we started up our Facebook page for public safety information. We've been posting arrests and material on the website, as well as road closures and whatever comes forward. So that's up and running, and it's been successful as to date. The police summary report for the month of June. We had a total of 890 logged incidents and activities. There's been 8 reports of theft, 3 disorderly and harassment complaints, 3 disputes of complaints of disputes and civil matters, 7 domestic violence reports. We investigated 5 criminal mischief, 4 assaults, 3 burglaries, and 10 arrests throughout the month of June.
Chief, I got a report of a bear in the neighborhood the other night. Did you?
I heard that one too. I think it might have been somewhere around Sunday night or...
Walked past my house, is what I understand. Did people phone that in, or?
I don't know if we got specific calls to the PD. I heard it around town though.
Should people call you if there's a bear sighting?
They can certainly call. I would just caution them to let bears do what bears do, and they just kind of wander.
Your black bear? Yeah, black bear?
Yeah, I understand they can, traverse quite a bit of distance in a day. And it was up in our development, and one guy had his garage open. The bear just sat there and stared at him a while and moved on. But
those are problems. When people are leaving garbage cans out and leaving garages with garbage cans in them, or easy access to them, they'll go right inside the garage. And they're smart animals. They'll come back. They time it out perfectly. But I would caution people just to let them wander through, because that's usually what all they're looking to do. If need be, they could make loud noises. They usually get startled pretty easily and just move on. But certainly call if there's any concern for safety. Wouldn't be the first time. Certainly not.
You used the sirens, right? The police sirens?
I've walked them right on through town with the siren before. So they usually go up towards the high school property. It's where they like to travel up into those woods and trails up in that area, and then again down to our golf course. See them often do over there. Traffic violations that were cited. We had a total of 19 moving and 44 non-moving violations. Our accident reports, crash reports, were slightly up this month to 18 reports. 2 injuries reported, and unfortunately, very tragic and fatal accident. One fatality this month, and my heart and thoughts and prayers go out to their family. Very tragic and unfortunate set of circumstances.
Yes.
That is my report for the month of June.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay. Do we have any other department reports? All right, now we go to the approval of bills. Oh, yeah, we have to approve the department reports. Motion to approve the department reports.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, now we go to the bill list. Bill list is always different, it seems. I guess this is the number, looks like the aggregate number for the bill list is $1,419,648.18. You all have copies, I suspect, of the bill list. Okay. So I'll take a motion to approve the bill list.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Give me a second, just go through it one more time.
No second?
We will, shortly. I'll second it.
That was a second?
Yeah.
Mrs. Dilts, would you kindly call the roll?
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Bill list. And now, we open the floor for audience participation. Okay. We don't have any of that tonight, so we close that, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
What, did we have Paul's report?
Mayor, just had two,
Did I skip Paul?
Yes.
yeah, just two brief items I just want to review with the council. Since the last meeting, the bid documents for South 2nd Street were updated, and that project was re-advertised for bid, and the bids will be received and open next week on the 13th. So I'll have a report for you for your next meeting. Secondly, a request to reduce the performance guarantee on the Sycamore Landing project was received. I'm evaluating that. Per statute, I will have a letter issued on that over the next 2 weeks, and it will be something that you will take up and review at your next meeting in August. Thank you very much.
I had one more, Paul.
Sure.
First Street, our four-way stop. I see those hedges have been clipped.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Chief, do you know anything?
No, I don't.
Who knows about that?
Yes, they did, they
What?
have been clipped.
Yeah, I met with the gentleman.
It's a good thing.
It's helped. Yeah.
I met with the gentleman and did a site for him, all right, sitting in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about what to remove, and he was okay with removing them. So they're out of the ground, and he's happy. Hopefully everybody else is too.
I think it helps. The other observation I have, I still think we can't let cars on the right-hand side park right up to the intersection. Chief, you want to?
Yeah, I had officers address both of those concerns with both those residents on either side of the streets. They were advised that they cannot park within 25 feet of the intersection, and those vehicles have been parking forward
They have, and in my opinion, I think it works. I take that every day, and I think the sight distance has been, vastly improved, so.
That's good.
Thank you to all of you.
Just on that note, we've been going around and getting phone calls from people at intersections that the residents just been letting things take over. The bushes, the hedges, everything. And I did a drive-by on a lot of things, and you're going to see a lot of things being cut that you're not going to be happy with. But it needs to be done for the safety of the township, the residents. It's been your responsibility for so long. It's still your responsibility, but you know what I mean? I asked one guy to go out and cut something. He cuts a little branch this big and says, "How's that?" You know, it's not working. So we're going to clean the house back to where it belongs, and you know what I mean? And I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but that's where we're at. So, you know what I mean? I don't like to be a power company, but
I would comment, we don't necessarily, I don't believe, we have side triangle rights on all intersections. That's usually dedicated when we do a subdivision or a site plan or whatever. But in my observation, a lot of people have just encroached on the right-of-way.
right.
And that's the bigger concern. They treat that as part of their front lawn, and then next thing you know, there's bushes and potted plants and everything else, so. And I think that's the easy part to enforce.
Okay, again, apologize to Paul for skipping over his report. Now we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.